guys, today's video is a speed paint time lapse, whatever you want to call it, of the protagonist from Persona 5, which finally came out in the West this past week, and it's incredible. I've started playing it already. I don't know how many people know I'm into Persona. I played Persona 4 a couple of years ago, and it's not something I talk about that much, but I've really loved the game, and I'm really enjoying 5. Like, I've put in well over 10 hours. I accidentally fell asleep for 2 hours playing it, but that's different. Yeah, so I was using my new art board, which people have asked me to do a video on, and yeah, I'll do a video on this stuff. It's pretty cool, but there's a problem and I can't trace through it. So I was like, I really like the sketch that I did originally for the pro tag, and I didn't want to like draw it again and again, and I realized I can't trace through it, so I tried to transfer it with some dark pencil, but that didn't work. And I think the only thing that would work is a projector, and they are quite pricey, so I wasn't going to just buy a projector just for this one thing. If I end up using artboard more often, obviously it'll be a bit of an investment, but yeah, they are quite expensive. You can get cheaper projectors, but like if you go to an art store and ask for a projector, they're like 400 quid or something ridiculous. They're so expensive. But I used only one watercolour, one ink, and some fine tech for this. There's like no other product. I think I used a tiny bit of grey. Yeah, I've got a tiny bit of grey watercolour just to set off the white in his hair, because he's got black hair in the game. But yeah, the red that you see later is actually a watercolour, but I'll talk about that later. I'm using Diamine's new drawing ink. I don't know if it is like super new, but I hadn't seen it before on cult pens, and I snatched it up straight away. And it comes in little glass bottles. If you know, I'm quite a fan of Diamine inks. I've talked about them before on my channel. Some people reported that they were fading, so I was like, oh no. But they've brought out a waterproof drawing ink, and it's incredible, and it's so smooth, and it's lovely, and it's so cheap. So I will put that in the description. And I'm just using my De La Rowney number 4 round graduate brush. Yeah, the long handled one. If you can hear any noise behind me, by the way, I have Ash. Ash is staying for the weekend. If you watched the stream yesterday, you saw him like dabbing in the background. And yeah, he's helping me package up all the orders that you guys placed, and it's incredible. So thank you so much for all the orders you placed. There's not many copies of Transfer left if you want to go check it out, and there's like prints and stuff, so please go check out my online store. And there should be prints of this up as well by the time this video is up, because I'm going to go scan it in when I've finished recording. And yeah, so if you haven't played Persona, basically the rundown is that you are a bunch of kids and you have to stop evil in the world with your personas, and they're like your inner power, your inner self. It's actually quite a complex game and story, but Persona 5 is I felt like it was a bit of a more rounded start than Persona 4. I was a bit confused with the start of Persona 4, but P5 is pretty good, and I would recommend it to anyone with a PS3 or a PS4. I played Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, and it's very good. So if you like JRPGs, if you like long games that like take you years to get over, then yes, definitely invest in this series. The characters are amazing, the designs, the art style, like particularly in Persona 5. Like, this is why I had to do fan art, because it just looks so good. Oh my gosh, I just love all the style of Persona 5, and it looks so good. What do you think, Ash? It's pretty rad. There we go. Yeah, so I'm still using my ink and my brush, and I'm going to start on the watercolour soon. I'm really excited for you guys to see that bit, because Ash didn't believe that it was a watercolour, and it is, and it's a professional half pan. And I was talking a little bit about professional half pans in my previous video, about what I learnt about watercolours, and the opacity of this watercolour is like heaven. It's so good. It's just, you'll see. I slowed it down because you had to see how satisfying it was to just like brush on that red. I haven't even got to that bit yet. I'm so excited about the red and I'm just talking ahead of the video. So I used a flat brush here to just get the rest of the ink on in the thicker parts, and using a brush and ink, if you keep the ink wet and use quite a large amount of ink, you can get really smooth lines. You don't have to keep going over and over like some people do with pencil or pens. You can just, that's a real advantage to using a brush and ink, is just you can get the line down in one, and it's really good, and it helps build up confidence of line as well, which is something that I noticed has improved in my work, and I want to keep improving on that. So I'm just filling in the rest of the black. It's so strange not having so many elements to a piece. There's literally like ink, watercolor, that's it, but one watercolor. So the style of Persona 5 is all red, black and white, and it's really good. Oh, here we go, there's that watercolor. And yes, this is cadmium, what was it, cadmium red deep? Yeah, and it's a series 4, so it isn't cheap, and it came in a half pan. You can also get it in a tube by Winsor & Newton. I'm not sure about this colour in other brands because I use Winsor & Newton, but there'll be an Amazon link in the description if you want to go check it out. It's like gouache or acrylic, isn't it? Yeah, it's just like it's incredible like how opaque and strong this one watercolor is. I mean, you can water it down. I've used it very dry here. I didn't apply too much water just so I could get like the finish, but it doesn't have like the same finish as gouache. Like gouache is a lot more chalky, and it's like, what is this magic paint? It's incredible. I didn't add, like I said, didn't add a lot of water, and it just came out really thick. And I noticed this when I bought it. I used it in the Jasperzine piece, and I've been dying to use this red just like this for so long because I knew like how strong it was, and I never get to use it. I don't use a lot of red in my work apparently, or if I do, it's small amounts. And so I think I'll do a few more Persona portraits. I've only got 4 people in my team at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So as I unlock other characters, I will probably come back and do some more drawings of like favourite characters, especially when it's finished and everything. But oh boy, this red watercolour is so good. It looks so good. Like I'm shocked. I'm shook. I'm shaken. And then I go in with just a little bit of fine tech. If you saw my April Fool's video from last week, me and Bailey swapped channels, and I felt very attacked by her over excessive use of fine tech. Like, I do that. Oh my god, I don't use that much. It's not true, Ash. It's coming out your wages. That's been the joke of this weekend, is like, Ash is helping me out with my work and stuff, and every time he does something rude like that, like calls me out, I say it's coming out of his wages. He sat eating my sweets on the floor. But yeah, so go check out the watercolour that I mentioned if you're interested. And oh, here we go. Here is the fine tech. Whoop whoop. So I use the it's from the Gold Pearl colours, like the most famous set that they do, and it's just the silver. I think it's called something like Moon or something like that. I don't know, something like that. It's from the gold set, the traditional gold set, and then I added shadow with it because I also have a silver, a darker silver that I don't get to use very often because it's not as shiny or shimmery, but it works so well as a shadow, and I never really thought of not like a shadow in Persona. Persona jokes. It worked really well as a shade for the mask, for the silver, so I've got to remember using that in future, and it looks pretty dang good. So I think I'm going to be selling the original. There'll be prints on my online store, so go check them out, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!